Welcome everybody to another Deepvue educational webinar. Today's focus is on Deepvue AI, the Deepvue AI terminal, which allows you to access custom prompts, preset prompts, and basically turn Deepvue really into your training assistant, have it do research for you, analyze screens, analyze watch lists, and soon to be a whole lot more. Today we're going to show off a lot of these features, actionable use cases that help speed up your workflows and save you time each week. And I'll also kind of tease a newly released feature that's still kind of in beta, but maybe some of you guys have found it. So definitely stick around until the end. We'll showcase that. But as we go, if you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer as many questions as possible. And today should be a lot of fun. Also, if you're watching this, make sure that you have access to the Deepvue AI prompts guide. I shared the link earlier, but also it should be linked in the description if you're watching the recording, and it should also be in the email if I sent out the recording as well. But this houses all the prompts that we'll be going through and some other quick advice on writing prompts, accessing the Deepvue AI, and other very important things. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay. So let me go ahead and close out the terminal actually to start with. So first things first, the Deepvue AI is a newly released feature. We released it in late November of last year. We're still, I would say, on iteration 1, and it's only getting better. And what it is basically it brings in AI into the platform and integrates it with your screens, with the platform, and allows you to basically assign it tasks and have it do research for you. And today, like I said, we're going to showcase a lot of useful prompts that you can use and also some very helpful workflows in general. Let's go ahead and start from the basics. So first, how do you access the Deepvue AI? Well, from the screener or watchlist module, what you want to do to open up the AI terminal, the Deepvue AI terminal, is go up here to the top right and click this icon. And let me actually zoom in just a little bit. This icon right here, it looks like some stars in here. This is how you access and open the Deepvue terminal on your screener or watchlist module. So let's go ahead and give that a click. That opens up the prompt library and the standard prompt here. And you got some prompts here that you can use right away if you would like to. If you're in the dashboard module, you can also open up Deepvue AI and actually have that as an app that you use. And I'll actually go ahead and show that at the very end, how you can add it to your dashboard. And let me make a note of that there. Okay. But that's how you access the Deepvue AI terminal. You can also go ahead and exit it by just clicking that again. You know, if you've got your data panel open, you can also open the terminal. It is going to replace that as you can see. Okay. So a little bit of navigation things within the terminal itself. First, you have access to different chats that you've created. So if you have a thread on one specific stock or one specific, strain of research, you can go ahead and access them by clicking this. You can scroll through these and you can see a lot of, I've been doing a lot of testing here recently, but you can see all the previous ones. You can search here and you can hide this with that icon. Up in the top right is how you create a new chat. So whenever you'd like to do so, feel free to click that button. And then down here, as I mentioned, it knows what symbol you're looking at. So if I spacebar through, it's going to adjust the symbol with the one you're actually looking at the chart and have selected here in the columns. And similarly, if you're on the dashboard, it will show the linked symbol that you have access to. Down here are some prompts to right away get started with it, asking specifically about TNDM or other specific questions. You've got some market analysis, theme analysis, and stock analysis. These are the 3 main categories of prompts that we have as presets. So these are great ones to just go ahead and get started. You can ask, for instance, about TNDM's latest earnings report. What does TNDM do? That's always a question I'm always asking myself sometimes with a new stock. For instance, if we bring up PLTR, you can ask, what does PLTR do? Give that a click and it'll give a nice breakdown for you. And there you go. It gives a nice core platform, business breakdown, all of that. So it's a great way to do research within the platform. That's the main goal with the Deepvue terminal, and we'll be integrating it more and more so you can actually control Deepvue from this terminal here. You can see that once you ask a prompt, we've also got some follow-on prompts here that you can refer to. You also have the option to copy this answer. So if you want to paste it to X, Twitter, whatever, you can do that. You've also got timestamp here. And then also if there are any symbols that are mentioned in this response, you basically are able to quickly and easily click this button and add those symbols to a specific watch list. So that's a really nice workflow thing that we'll showcase in just a minute. Let me go back to a new chat here. So this screen. Like I said, the Deepvue AI is very powerful. You can type in your personal prompt here, but like many of you, it's often better to just kind of use the same prompts over and over again, or you have some standard prompts that you go to. The goal with that and the way to use that is you've got our prompt library. So you can either access the prompt library by clicking this here, or always clicking this logo. So that does the same thing. Give that a click. That opens up the prompt library. Here you can search for specific prompts, and you can also toggle between the different categories. So like I said, the main three are market analysis, theme analysis, stock analysis. Those are the main three. You've also got some earnings related prompts. And again, it always knows what symbol you're referring to. And you've also got a section here for your personal prompts. So this is really cool. This is actually newly released, and you're basically able to save your prompts within Deepvue. Again, just open up the prompt library either by clicking this logo or explore all prompts, go over to my prompts, and then to create a new prompt, you click this, and this opens up this page. Basically, the prompt here is a quick summary of what you want the prompt to do. So, let's say analyze the earnings of the symbol, and the way to refer to the symbol is by using this bracket key and typing symbol and then a close bracket key. So let me zoom in here just so it's really clear. Oh, that's a little bit too far. There we go. So again, to refer to the symbol, this is critical, guys. In Deepvue, this will tell Deepvue that you want access to the symbol that you have available. So analyze the earnings of symbol, and then this is where you would actually write a more detailed prompt. So it's not required, but this is what I personally do. I have kind of a quick, this is almost like the title of the prompt, and then this is the body of it. This is the meat of the prompt, where you can be detailed about tell me about the earnings, the sales growth, the margins, the guidance updates, all of that. And we'll go through some multiple examples of these as we go. But that's how you create your own prompt, and then just click create, and you've got it there saved for you right there. Let me zoom back out a little bit. So again, to load any of these prompts, you would just give it a click. It will load it in this bar right here, and you're good to go. You also have a few different options. You can delete, you can share, link, copy to the clipboard. You can also edit the prompt at any time by clicking that, and it opens back up that prompt editor feature, and then just save it when you've made any changes. So that's how you access the prompt library, create a new prompt as well. And again, to load any of those prompts, you just want to go ahead and give it a click. It will load it in there, press enter, and you're off and running. Let me delete that here. Any questions about accessing the prompt library or anything like that? Let's see. All right. Cool. How do you scroll back and forth in the prompt library? I'm on a laptop, so I just kind of scroll on my trackpad. I believe it would just be the wheel on your mouse to scroll back and forth. There is a character limit. Good question. I believe it's 500 characters currently for the in-depth prompt. So if I edit this, this has a character limit. Let us know if you're running into that a lot, because it should be pretty easy to expand if a lot of people are having issues. So let us know here. There is a character limit here. Okay. So let's go ahead and close that out. And let's go ahead and keep on moving. Let me get a sip of water here. So that is the prompt library. I want to jump to one of the really cool use cases of Deepvue, because as we build out the Deepvue AI, we want to integrate it even more with screening, with watch lists, with the chart itself, being able to add an indicator, create a screen from this Deepvue AI. And one of the really cool workflows that Rye created is if I go to, for instance, let's do hymns. And let me delete this. One thing that's really cool is you're able to access the Deepvue AI and learn the catalyst behind a move, behind a significant day. So here on this day, March 9th, HIMS was a big gap up on big volume, and it wasn't earnings. So if you weren't using Deepvue AI and want to know what happened, you might have to go elsewhere, Google around, try to find out what happened. That would take a lot of time out of your day and take you out of the zone, right? So in Deepvue, a really cool workflow that we've developed is on any day that you want to learn the catalyst behind or important news behind what happened, you can go ahead and right click the bar and ask Deepvue AI. Again, so I'm going to the bar that I want to research, I'm right clicking, and then I click ask Deepvue AI in that menu. And what this is going to do is do the research for you and say what happened that was significant on that day. So basically, there was a major agreement with NVO, and that was a game-changing catalyst. So it's always helpful to learn the story behind a catalyst to see, is it significant enough for a post-gap move, a post-gap potential trade. So this does a quick breakdown, and of course you can go ahead and ask it to dive deeper into it. You can always ask follow-up questions here about the previous message. And one thing that I do want to mention here is you can see that in this response, you're seeing these symbols highlighted in this character. You've got the logo as well. What this means is that these symbols are actually clickable. And if I click that, it brings up the chart. So again, a really cool workflow thing. So if you ask, competitors of HIMS, it'll bring up some results, and you can easily click between those charts to navigate between them. In addition, like I mentioned, because there are symbols mentioned and highlighted here, if you click this plus sign below the response, you're able to add those lists, add those stocks to those lists. So 2 stocks added to this random watch list here. So it added all the symbols that were mentioned to a watch list. So that's a very helpful workflow thing. So let's go ahead and dive deeper. Let's say, let's use one of these additional prompts. So who are NVO's main competitors? Let's go ahead and run that, and let's see what it gives us. And we'll be making those additional prompts, so these ones down here under the response, more relevant to the question you initially asked. So you're basically able to dive deeper into the response and take it in a certain direction. But again, here you go. You've got your answer here. You can bring up the chart of LLY, PFE, VKTX, GPCR, see how their charts are doing. So there's another way to kind of find related stocks within the same industry, within the same theme. And it's very, very cool. And again, because we've got ticker selected, you could always click this plus sign, create a new watch list, and let's say NVO competitors. Click enter, and watch list successfully added. And if we go over to our watch list, let's search NVO competitors. There we go. They're right there for you. Doesn't that seem like magic? It's pretty cool. So that is how the right click feature, and let me go ahead and do one more example. Let's do Fastly. So again, this is a catalyst gap, but you might not know what the catalyst is. Yes, it's earnings, but you can always dive deeper into it. So again, to access the right click feature, you want to right click on the bar, ask Deepvue AI, and it'll go ahead and dive deeper into that day with that company and see what happened. So I do this every single day whenever I notice that there's a big catalyst gap or also a big move down, right? We're just trying to find what happened behind the scenes on a significant day. So I'm doing this all the time. Whenever I see a big move, either up or down, I'm spacebarring through my screens. I see a stock I might not know much about. I see a gap up. I go ahead and run this, and it really saves me a lot of time each day. And here we go. Fastly, after Q4 earnings, crush estimates and management issued blowout 2026 guidance tied to agentic AI tailwind. So it gets right to the heart of what happened that day. So great earnings here. First full year of non-GAAP profitability. Revenue guide, versus, this estimate. So blew out that. And the CEO called it an inflection point. So it gets right to the meat of what caused that gap up and why was it significant. So again, with any gap up here, you can go ahead and do this. And even going into the past, so let's bring up BE. This is an example I always like to do. Let's say you're researching this previous marble stock and you see this big gap up, but you don't know what happened. Again, before you might have to go research, try to Google, try to find it. It's hard to track that down. Trust me, I've done that a lot in the past, but this saves you a ton of time. All you have to do is, again, you go to this bar, right click, ask Deepvue AI, and it'll go ahead and research that day for you. So very helpful. So here we go. There's a JP Morgan upgrade and also overall optimism and a positive financial backdrop. And let's go back to this one as well, this previous gap as well, and see what happened here. And there's a massive deal with AEP here, up to 1 gigawatt of solid oxide fuel cells. I traded this move right here, and knowing that catalyst was crucial to my conviction. I saw it this highest volume ever, so it's always good to know the catalyst behind that move, and these can make some really good swing trades here. So again, it gives you a quick insight into what happened with that catalyst. Any questions on the right click feature here? Oh, there's some questions about the group. I'll show that in just a second. So let's go ahead and say, who are BE's main competitors? Let's go ahead and run that, see what it comes up with. So Upstart, FCell, AXOY, and this is still, again, view 1, and we're still kind of tinkering with everything. So you can see that it maybe didn't come up with all the tickers here, but assume it did. How you kind of create that competitor watch list is you take the symbols here, click this plus sign here, and you can create a new watch list or add it to an existing watch list. Let's go ahead and create a new one, BE competitors. Press enter, and now that watch list is created. So that's how you create that competitor watch list. Yeah, and the outputs are going to be different. That's where prompts come in, right? The more specific your prompt is, the more consistent the output and format of that prompt is going to be. And let's actually jump to that. So in the Deepvue AI cheat sheet, which again, make sure you have access to, I have a quick section on advice on writing prompts. So what I say here is the output is only going to be as good as how specific your prompt is and the context that you give it. So context is basically information that you provide to the prompt that it can incorporate into its output. So what I say here is be clear, be specific, provide context that can be lists of symbols, details, and describe the output format that you would like it to use. So if you want it to start with a summary and then 3 main bullets, tell it to do that. You can literally say that in the prompt and it'll go ahead and do that right there for you. So I personally like to start prompts with requiring a 2 to 3 cents TLDR, that just means summary, and then have certain sections that the response is a part of. This is what creates a more consistent output. And this is really important, guys. So obviously this is a newer technology and they're still being improved every single week, it seems like nowadays. But LLMs still hallucinate, especially with numbers. So remember that it's simply a tool that requires your oversight. Use it and then verify the most important aspects. So you can use it to speed up your research, but make sure to keep diving deeper if you need to. And it's just like a tool, like a hammer. A hammer's no good at smashing in a nail without your guidance, without your aim, all of that. An LLM and Deepvue AI is no different. You have to use it with some skill, with some practice. And that's one thing that I would really say is if you haven't used Deepvue AI too much, go ahead and try it out. Experiment with different prompts. See what works well, see what works that doesn't work too well. If there's something feedback that you would like to give us, let us know, please, and we'll keep improving. Again, we can consistently iterate and improve this over time. So if you have any feedback for us, please let us know. And that's one of the core aspects of Deepvue. So I say here, experiment, try things. Think of workflows that you do maybe every single day in Deepvue, and how maybe a prompt and Deepvue AI could help you with that, help you dive deeper into that, help you speed that up, become more efficient, all of that. This is a newer tool available to us as traders, but I think it's kind of similar almost to, charts. before, a lot of traders going back to Darvis's days, even before then, they had to physically, draw out charts for themselves on sheets of paper. Now we've of course got software like Deepvue where you can just plot charts and plot as many indicators as you want. And similarly now, previously you had to research the story behind a company manually. You had to research a catalyst manually. You had to break down earnings reports by actually reading through the earnings report. Now with Deepvue AI, all you have to do is run a prompt and it highlights exactly the specific things that you told it to look for. And it gives you everything in a quick and easy output in just a matter of a few seconds. So again, try things out. See if it adds to your workflow, see what prompts you can incorporate, all of that. So that's my quick advice on writing prompts and just using Deepvue AI in general. And also, I do want to mention, if you're not already a Deepvue member, you can use code AI for a free month on deepvue.com. And if you are a Deepvue member and a current monthly member, please let us know if you'd like a special annual deal by emailing hello@deepvue.com and just mention AI webinar offer. So again, if you're a monthly member and want to upgrade to an annual plan with a great deal, go ahead and email us at hello@deepvue.com and mention AI webinar offer. Okay, so let's dive back into the AI itself and let's see if there's any questions I should ask. When we click a bar, does it automatically start a new chat or append to a previous chat? It currently appends to the current chat you're in. Is there a limit on how much we use the AI per session, like a token limit? So not necessarily. If you do too much too fast, there is a rate limit, but you've got pretty much unlimited use. And that's the currently how we're doing things. Maybe in the future will change, but currently there's no tokens, nothing like that. You can go ahead and run it as many times as you'd like. All right, answered that. Answer that. Will Deepvue AI be able to conduct tasks? Yes, like creating screens, adding indicators to your chart, and I may have a quick preview of that later on the webinar. So we'll see. Okay. All right, let's keep on going here. So let's dive into the prompts that I have available here. And actually, one more thing here. So I show in this guide how to access Deepvue. I show that actually live here, but there are two special features that I do want to make sure you guys are aware of. First, in addition to clicking this to access your prompts, you can also simply use a / shortcut key, and that brings up your prompts as well. So if you don't want to use your mouse and click this to bring up your prompts and navigate that way, again, you can just type in the chat / and it will go ahead and bring up all these different prompts there for you. So that's one shortcut key I also want to mention. Second, as I said before, context is very important with regards to these prompts and how effective they are. And one cool thing that we've just added in Deepvue is the ability to pass on a screen or list of symbols into a prompt as context. And how you do that is basically go ahead and use the @ symbol, and that brings up all the different lists that you have available as well as screens. You can search. So if I want to use the Deepvue leaders list, the screen as the list, let's go ahead and type in Deepvue leaders, click that, and now whatever prompt I write, it's going to pass on this list of symbols, the current list of symbols showing up on the screen. And you can say, hey, dive into the themes that are existing on this list. And that's one of the prompts that we'll actually show later on. You could say, hey, what are the top BIOS tech stocks on this list? It will dive into that. So this is really helpful. Again, to do that, you want to type the @ symbol, and then you can choose any watch list or screen. And again, screen preset, watch list preset, it doesn't matter. Again, to get to Deepvue leaders, you can just go ahead and, there are two screens that we just made. Deepvue leaders, there we go. And then go ahead and write your prompt, press enter, and it will use those symbols in that list as context. So very, very helpful as well there. Let's see. Any questions going on? Do, do, do. Can you clear previous chats? Not currently, but you can always press this new chat button and you're now at a new chat. What engine is behind the AI? We use various models. The leading models, that's what we use, but it does depend on the question which one we use specifically. Can you use the AI to find equities that bounce off the 21 EMA one day ago as an example? So that will be a future iteration where you'll basically be able to say, hey, this technical condition, look for that. It'll create a screen for you, all of that, and you're able to do that. But that's in the future. That's something that we'll do, Sylvia. Um, all right. So let's dive in now to the prompts that I have prepared for you. So again, to access these prompts, they're in the cheat sheet for you. Just click this down arrow and let's dive in. So first things first, prompt one is what I call a themes analyzer. So the goal of this prompt is to analyze a list of symbols and determine which themes are represented. So this is the prompt. This will be available as a Deepvue prompt preset as well. And I have it right here. Right here. But for the time being, to do it along with me, all you have to do is copy this, Command C, go over to Deepvue, and then follow along with me and just paste that in when I paste it in. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and paste that in. And the watch list, the screen we're going to use is the Deepvue leaders list. So again, to do that, you press the @ symbol, Deepvue leaders, give that a click, and we're good to go. So we've got the prompt ready. We've got the Deepvue leaders screen sent over. So let's go ahead and press enter and let it do its magic. And you can see the Deepvue leaders screen sent there. So again, the goal of this screen is to analyze a list of symbols and determine which themes are represented. The prompt itself is from a list of symbols to a comprehensive review of the top 10 themes based on potential impact they are a part of. And then for each theme, break it down. And then at the end, basically to say, what are the most impactful themes represented on this screen? So there we go. We've got the first few themes here. So these are themes represented on the Deepvue leader screen. So we've got semiconductors and AI hardware. That would be the SNDKs, the TSEMs, all of that. Energy transition and nuclear. BE, CCJ, oil and gas production. Obviously, that's a huge theme right now. Shipping and LNG carriers. So that's a big theme right now. Then cloud and data center infrastructure, GLW, Dell, CRW, keys, space and satellite tech. So it's, if these seem familiar, it's because these have been the leading themes, and that's what the Deepvue leader screen is all about. So it's amazing that it can pick apart these themes, give you a nice breakdown, and list these stocks there for you. And you can see again, we have to tweak the prompt a little bit, or the logic in the background, because these aren't being picked up as symbols. But you can just highlight them, copy them, and then add it to a watch list as well if you'd like to take this and keep on diving into it. So software and AI platforms, App, Dockin, Net, Palantir, Reddit, Wix, ZD, Zeta. Refining and chemicals. This is something that's just developed over the past, few weeks here. So that's interesting. And then at the end, it ranks the most impactful and longest duration themes. So this is the first AI prompt. And this is a great way to identify leading themes. Again, going back to Livermore, going back to Darvis, O'Neill, of course, leading stocks and leading themes. Stan Weinstein, leading stocks and leading themes. And this is the way to identify the leading themes and the stocks within them. And then you can, of course, dive deeper into any single one of these charts and stories. All right. Yeah, that's awesome for sure. So that is the first prompt that I have to share for you guys. Any questions on this prompt or how to use it? Yeah, so the link to this cheat sheet is already there. All right. Is there a way to take a leading theme, then group the stocks in a way to show weekly returns per group? Maybe not, Dave, but I'm going to write that down. And again, if you have any suggestions, please let us know. we're always trying to improve this. And again, this is like V1.2, and we're going to be taking this to V5 over the next 2 years. So if you have any thoughts about how we can dive deeper and integrate the terminal more into your process, let us know. And I really like that idea, Dave. So I'm going to write that down. Colin says this really is exceptional. I can see your excitement with this. Yeah, it's unreal. Like, it takes your research to another level and makes it faster, more efficient. And again, everything is inside Deepvue and integrated. So you can take this and make a watch list. You don't have to have 20 different tabs open. You can do it all in Deepvue, and that's what's really cool. Typing at, make sure you're doing it correctly, but it should bring up all the watch lists and screeners. If it's not, let us know. Make sure you're typing in here, John. So click in here and then type at. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. So John, you're typing at without clicking in here, and that brings out I think that brings up some other things. So type in here, click in here, and then press the at key. Are the data points accessible from the terminal? We're going to be making them more integrated and more accessible, but not quite yet, I would say. Why are the tickers always clickable? It depends on the prompt that you ask it, but we're going to be tweaking it to make sure that they're more clickable as well. So that's an improvement we'll be making. Again, this is V1.2, guys. Cool. My Deepvue terminal is docking on the lower left side. Is there? Send us an email. We'll look into it, but I'm not sure. It should always pop up on the right side here. Okay. Cool. Yeah, cool, John. Yeah, you just have to click in here, because if you're clicking the chart, it thinks you're interacting with the chart. If you click in here, it knows that you're talking about the Deepvue AI. So again, just press the at symbol, and this brings up watch list. These are all my personal watch lists, but you can search presets, all of this. So this will access the watch list that you have in the platform, and the screens, and the screen presets, and the watch list presets. Okay, so that is prompt number 1. Very useful. All right. Next up, we've got the earnings analyzer prompt. So the goal here is to break down an earnings report into the most important data for traders. So again, not trying to come at from a very fundamental perspective, but break that down into a way that's usable for us. So let's go ahead and copy this prompt. And again, I'm copying it just to show you guys what to do. But me personally, because I have it saved as a prompt, I just have to go to my prompts and click this one. And let's actually show you. So I've copied that prompt. So let's show you how to create a prompt again. So let's go ahead and create prompt, and let's do tutorial earnings breakdown prompt for, and then I'm going to do the brackets symbol. So I'm naming my prompt there, and then I'm just going to paste in the prompt that was right here. So copy that and follow along with me, guys. So we're making your own first custom prompt. So we've got all that. We've got the name here. We've got this symbol within the brackets, which allows us to see that it's accessing the symbol. And in the prompt itself, you can see that I've included the brackets and symbol. And let me zoom in so that it knows what symbol you currently have available. So let's go ahead and click create. There it is. And let's go over to, MU. And let's go ahead and run it. So I'm just clicked it, press enter, and now it's running that prompt that we created. So we're going to break down the recent earnings in MU here. Yep. And look, there's a little bug here. So it thinks for some reason we're asking about Broadcom, not MU. So let's go ahead and run it again. And see what it does. So this is the thing. You always have to check up on what it's doing here. And now it's doing NVIDIA. So let's specifically say MU here. It looks like it's not quite accessing the symbol correctly. So let's go ahead and copy in the prompt. And instead of symbol, we're just going to type in MU. So that's obviously an improvement we need to make here. So let's run it. There we go. It's got MU. It breaks down the metrics for us. There we go. So metrics here, earnings growth year over year, non-GAAP, all 167%, sales growth, margins, and then it dives deeper into each of these: revenue and sales, earnings and profitability, margins, capital returns, dividend declared, new products, nice, and announcements. Positions MU as an AI memory leader, boosting 1 to 3 growth, margins, guidance. That's always important. And a nice quote from the CEO: business strengthening through FY fiscal year 2026, supply much less than demand, big picture takeaways, AI driven re-rating, all of that. So a nice breakdown of what matters to us as traders, right? Is there surprising guidance? Is there earnings, sales, margins? Is there a buyback announced? All these things are things that can drive a stock into longer term trends. So that's what we're looking for with the earnings prompt. Any questions here? And if you have any suggestions to this, guys, please go to the bottom left here to the help module, go to roadmap, and then click request a feature, and then specify, that it's a Deepvue AI terminal. We'll actually add that as an option here and write in your suggestions. So there's a lot of good ideas coming. I want to make sure that we track those and add them to the pipeline. So any suggestions you have, please submit it down in the feature request area. Did you paste that in the prompt or the full prompt when creating a new prompt? I did it in the full prompt. So the initial prompt, I just kind of treat as the title, and then the bottom is where I paste the full prompt. All right. Cool. There's a question from Paul, and I might as well show it here. How do you maximize the AI panel? So this workflow is designed for your space barring through names in a screen. You're quickly running prompts here. So this is kind of the screener workflow, which is why you can't just maximize this all the way. If you want to just kind of dive deeper into the prompt side of things, what you can do is go over to your dashboard module by clicking this up here. And we'll go ahead and create a new dashboard by clicking this drop-down arrow, create new. So again, click this drop-down, click create new, dashboard. And now let's go ahead and add the AI terminal app. So let me find it here. So Deepvue terminal right here. There you go. Give that a click. And now let's go ahead and expand it. And there we go, full screen. And we're going to be making a whole new module that is just specifically for the Deepvue AI to make this easier. But this is a way to do it right now to get that nice big screen look, new chat, all of that. And there we go. So let's go ahead and do our next prompt here, the macro analyst and fundamental factor. So the goal of this one is to break down the macro environment into the most important aspects for traders. So let's go ahead and copy this. And again, I'll show how to save it as a preset prompt as well. So let's say we want to save that prompt here that we have on the sheet as a prompt. Again, you click into your prompt library, you go to My Prompts, click to create new, and you could say macro tutorial prompt. And then, so this is the title, that's the main prompt, and then command V, and click create. And then it's there for you. But let's go ahead, and this is the same one I made before. So let's go ahead and click that, press enter. And what this should do is give a breakdown of the larger fundamentals, the larger cycle things that are going on, what's going on with the Fed, what's going on with geopolitics, and how that might impact us as traders. So there we go. Markets are in a risk-off mode driven by, it's still updating. There we go. So markets are in a risk-off mode, and let me just dive in a little bit. Markets are in a risk-off mode driven by Middle East escalation through the Strait of Hormuz. They talk about the different geopolitical things, Fed policy update, held rates, Cautiously neutral is what they say. Hawkish tilt. The oil market, they talk about that. Inflation pulse and the dominant fundamental factor. This is something that's come up time and time again when I've interviewed top traders is yes, everything about price is the most important thing, but they also consider what the dominant fundamental factor that the market cares about and how that's acting right now. So sometimes that might be inflation, sometimes that might be a China trade war. Right now, it's the conflict in Iran. So what is that impacting? Middle East oil supply stock. That's the dominant fundamental factor here. So this is a great way to quickly break down the news. You could run this every single day. You could run this as part of your weekly routine as well. But it's a great kind of macro backdrop prompt. So that's how I designed this. Yep, this is like the market brief. All right. So that is the third prompt that we're going to go through. All right. The next one is situational awareness. So the goal here is to give a guide on what your situational awareness, exposure, activity level should be based on current conditions. And this is something that you could run every single day in the morning or every single day after the close to check in on this. So let's go ahead and copy this. And one important thing with this one is we're going to have to go ahead and create these two things. And I'll show you how to do this very quickly. But like I said with AI prompts, is that they can hallucinate. And sometimes they might be using old data. Sometimes they might be using data that doesn't exist. So what we really want to do here, because we're using in this prompt, whether or not the QQQ is above or below the 21 EMA and 200 SMA, is we want to make sure that it treats that the correct way. So this is a little bit of a hack. And as we improve the Deepvue AI, we probably won't have to do this as much. But there's a little bit of a hack that I did is I pass it through the QQQ if it's above the 21 EMA or above the 200 SMA. So it has that symbol as context if it is above that 21 EMA. So I'll show you how to set that up. So what I've done is I've gone to Screener and I go ahead and click this drop down. And let's go ahead and make a new screen. And you're going to call this index check 21 EMA. There we go. So we're going to make one for the 21 EMA to see is the QQQ above or below it, and one for the 200 SMA as well. And then we're going to pass that into the prompt so it knows that. That's the idea behind this. So let's click save. Let's go ahead and create the filters that we need. So we want to go down to watch list presets, thematic ETFs, and then index ETFs. There we go. So these are the index ETFs. So IBIT, IWM, IBO, QQQ, QQQE, all these here. This is a preset watch list. So again, you want to go down the watch list tab and then go to watch list presets and check the index ETFs. Now we're going to add a condition. So let's go ahead and say price versus EMA SMA. We'll do EMA 21 EMA greater than 0%. There we go. So what we've done here is basically we passed this screen, the index ETFs, that watch list, and told it to find all of them that are above the 21-day moving average. The QQQ isn't on that list because we're below the 21 EMA. So when we pass this screen to the prompt, it's going to know that. I know this is a little bit of a hack, a little bit circuitous, but it's a way to kind of help ensure that hopefully it gets it right. And we'll be improving this to make sure that it's able to do this a little bit more seamlessly, but this is a way to do it right now. So that is the 21 EMA. Let's go ahead and save the screen. And let's make another one for the 200-day moving average. So again, index check 200 SMA. That looks good. Save. We're going to pass it that same watch list. So go down to watch list, thematic ETFs, index ETFs. There we go. And this time we're going to do price versus SMA. And we'll do the 200 SMA greater than 0%. So there's the same kind of logic. Is it above or below the 200-day moving average? The QQQ does not show up, so the prompt will know that. Ideally, we'll see. So save as. Oh, I already saved it. Below index, check 200 SMA. There we go. I already have that. So let's go ahead and do tutorial. There we go. So that's the quick setup that you need to do this prompt right here, because in this spot, we're going to at those different screens. Okay. So we've done that. Now what you want to do is go ahead and copy this prompt. And it's a longer one. There we go. And let's go ahead over to the dashboard. Let's do new chat. And we're going to go ahead and paste that prompt in. So we're going to find where we want to pass it, the lists. So these are the screens that we just created. So right here, we're going to pass it the 21 EMA list by doing at, and then typing check, and indexes check 21 EMA. That looks good. And then here, we're going to do at check and do 200 SMA check. So again, within this prompt, we're passing it the two screens here. So the idea is if the QQQ is above the 21 EMA, the QQQ will show up in this list. If it's not, it's not going to show up. And the same thing through the 200-day moving average. So there we go. Everything's ready to go. Let's press enter. And we'll see if it does it correctly. There we go. So let's break down what it did. So regime check, QQQ not on the 21 EMA screen list, so we're below the 21 EMA. QQQ not on the 200 SMA list, only IWM UUP listed, so we're below the 200-day moving average. So now it knows that the regime is short-term and long-term in downtrend, maximum caution. What this implies for swing trading, downtrend across timeframes between low probability setups, expect whipsaws and failures over 1 to a few weeks, reduce size to 1/4 of normal. Again, this is all a suggestion, right? You have to use this. You can obviously tweak this to how you specifically trade. So maybe below these moving averages, you're focusing only on the short side. You could tell it to tell you that in this prompt. What this implies for swing trading, so observe QQQ in sharp recent decline, oversold but bearish momentum, environment deteriorating. Decide breakouts, no, downtrend kills follow through, price rejecting MAs, pullbacks, maybe, breakdown shorts, yes, gappers, no, skip unless massive volume in defensive themes or leading themes. So these are suggestions. Again, you can define what it says for you, right? Act gives you some exposure levels. Start with 0%, only add A+ setups because we're in a more restrictive, selective environment. Take profits faster, prefer shorts or cash, avoid margin. So again, we can go really detailed with these prompts to really define for you, based on your rules, how you want to trade when the QQQ is below the 221 EMA. So again, this is something that you could run every single day. Today's playbook, regime dual downtrend, max caution, breakout skip, pullback selective only, gappers avoid, shorts favor. If you're trading, focus large cap defensive shorts, risk off themes, trade less, quality over quantity, sit on hands. So again, that's this prompt. It's a more verbose. There's more words here, but it gives you a nice output that you could run every single day before the market open and get a sense of your situational awareness, right? Because situational awareness is really what separates the market wizards from, even top traders. Is they know when to trade, they know which side to focus on, they know which areas to focus on, which setups to focus on. So this is really key, guys. Cool. So again, this prompt needed a little bit of finagling with these index checks. Hopefully you guys set that up along with me. But again, the goal here is just to try to force the prompt to be aware of if the QQQ is above or below those moving averages and not hallucinate too much. Again, you could always just kind of manually tell it, hey, the QQQ is below the 21 EMA and 200 SMA. Here's the prompt. How do I trade if we're like this? So you don't need to pass it through those screens if you don't want to. You could just say, hey, manually, I've looked at the chart. we're below the 21 EMA and 200 SMA. How, what do my rules tell me to do? What does my prompt tell me to do based on this? And again, in the future, we're going to be linking things a lot more neatly to data and all of that, our data points. So it'll be able to know really, are we below that 21 EMA, even without doing that. But this is a really helpful situational awareness prompt. What do you guys think about this? Very cool? Not cool? What do you guys think? All right, we got a wow, awesome, fantastic. This is decades of experience in one prompt. Yes, exactly. Cool, very nice. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, cool. All right, so that is prompt 4. Let's dive into the last one. So the goal of this last prompt is to break down the story and fundamentals of a company. What sets us apart of anything? So the goal here is, let's say a new ticker comes up on your radar. You don't really know what they do. You know what industry they're in, but let's dive deeper. What sets it apart? What is the N in Can Slim, the N factor? What will make it become a market leader when the rest of the market is not one? So let's go ahead and copy this. And that's it. Let's do Command C. Let's do a new chat. Let's go ahead and let's actually go over the screener. So we've got a watch list. And what is a stock that we should run with this, you guys? Give me one stock that you want to know the story more about. It could be let's do a bigger stock. NBIS. I love that. Great choice. So let's do NBIS. Let's go to a new chat here. Let's copy down here. And I think what we were doing wrong, why the MU didn't come up well, is because when you copy in this, it doesn't automatically recognize the symbol. So when you save it as your own prompt, it will do that. But if you're copying in a prompt, make sure to change your symbol to NBIS or the symbol you want. Again, if you save it as your own prompt, you won't have to do that because symbol automatically gets registered as the stock symbol. But if you're copying in the prompt from somewhere else, make sure to change that to the stock that you actually want. So let's go ahead and dive deeper into NBIS. And actually, this is great because I want to learn more about NBIS. So let's dive in here. And obviously, it's got a few catalysts. You can see that I've done the right click because it actually saves the output. This is another addition that we did, is when you do the right click investigate, basically, you're able to save it on the chart itself as that info. So you can always refer to that. So there's a nice new agreement here with Meta, and then back here was an NVIDIA agreement. So I did the right click feature here. Okay. So let's see what it did. So it's hallucinating again. Okay. I think you can just ignore this. I'm not sure why I created this, but company description. NBIS builds a full stack AI infrastructure focused on AI native cloud platform and intensive AI workloads. They make money renting GPUs to AI builders. Key products: NBIS AI Cloud. Surge in 2024. Market themes that's it's riding: AI infrastructure boom, GPU compute shortage, cloud migration to AI native. Cool. Game-changing catalysts. So there's a right here, major GPU supply win, earning sales and margins, guidance changes here, analyst updates, none available. Top 5 related stocks. So CoreWeave. So again, there's a few errors here that we need to improve on. NVIDIA there. Cool. So growth potential 72 out of 100. So again, this is actually a prompt I made yesterday. So it might need some iteration and improvements. But you get the idea. You can basically design a prompt to dive deeper into the story of a stock and specifically look for the things that you're looking for as a swing trader, as a fundamental minded trader, as a Can Slim trader. You can specifically look for things that matter to you personally. And that's where custom prompts really shine, is they allow you to basically tell the computer to do research for you in the specific way that you would do it yourself. And the better that you can define that, the more specific you are, the more context you give it, the better the output is going to be. So hopefully you've kind of seen how that can help you as a trader today. Let me know in the chat. Are you guys going to use AI, Deepvue AI, more or less after today's webinar? What do you guys think? More? Nice. More, a lot, all caps more. I like that. Definitely more. Cool. Like it a lot. Cool. And again, like I said, prompts is one aspect of Deepvue AI. But again, a really cool feature that is a really fast and easy way to use Deepvue AI is like, say you were spacebarring through charts and you saw that NBIS gapped up on this day. Again, all you have to do to use the right click flow is right click on that bar that you want to understand the catalyst behind, ask Deepvue AI, and it's going to go ahead and research what happened on that day. And I do this when I see a gap up because it's just so helpful. There we go. So there we go. What happened? Convertible note, and it looks like there's a little bit of mistake here. So again, let's try it one more time. I think I maybe clicked the wrong bar here. Let's see. March 11th. There we go. Cool, cool. And again, we'll only be improving this. So there we go. I clicked the wrong bar. On this day, 2 billion strategic investments, 5 gigawatts of NVIDIA power compute, why it mattered. There's a nice breakdown there. This represents one of NVIDIA's single largest company bets in recent months. Nice. Nice. So that is that day. And then let's go ahead and redo. And you can see that this result is saved on the chart here. So even if this is like five years down the line and you come back to this stock at this instant, you can hover over this and remember why it gapped up here. So let's go ahead and do the right click feature on this gap up, which I think was the meta deal. So let's right click, ask Deepvue AI. And we're in the right date there. Looks good. Yep, so there's the announcement about meta. So again, when you see a gap up, this is a very fast and easy way to understand why a stock gapped up or gapped down as well. Cool. All right. Cool. Does it transcend layouts? Yes, it should. It's kind of a separate feature here. And Paul's got some feedback. Yeah, let us know and we'll improve it. Because, yeah, we'll improve it as well. Again, this is just iteration 1, guys, of the Deepvue AI. Okay. So I probably shouldn't even be doing this, but I do want to show a little bit of a teaser because we're still testing it. But let me show one more feature of the Deepvue AI that is pretty cool. So we just released this quietly yesterday. So again, it's still in beta. We're still testing it. So if you try it out, let us know your feedback. And I didn't tell anybody else I was going to show this, so we'll see how it goes. But one cool thing about the Deepvue AI, let's go to new chat, is let's say you want to create a screen. You know, before you had to go to the filters and find them, write in conditions, all of that. What if your Deepvue AI, you could just speak to it and tell it what you wanted? That would be pretty cool, right? That would save you a lot of time. Well, let's go ahead and check it out. So let's go ahead and click backslash. Let's click in the prompt, click backslash, and then there's a new tab here called actions. Let's create a new screener from the description. And now let's go ahead and describe what we want. So let's use an example. Create a screen that looks for stocks over $5 a share, average dollar volume over 50, or let's do 30 million, and either EPS growth last quarter over 25% or sales growth last quarter over 50%. Let me make sure I spell everything right. All right, this would be pretty cool if it just created it for you, right? Well, let's go ahead and press enter and see. Wow. Okay. I'll create a screener with these filters. Last price over $5, average dollar volume 50 day over 30 million, quarterly EPS growth latest report quarter over 25%, sales growth over 50%, and it's going to name it this. Looks pretty good. You could always suggest any changes that you'd like, but let's go ahead and say yes. All right. Well, it looks like it maybe created it. So let's go ahead and click that. Oh, it loaded it. Let's go ahead and check the criteria. All right, last over $5, average dollar volume 50-day over 30 million. And then it even got that OR group that I created. Because again, we're looking for EPS growth or sales growth over those criteria. And there we go, 25%, 50%. So it did it. Is that pretty cool? What do you guys think? So again, this is still in beta, but yeah, pretty cool, right? Pretty darn cool. Wow. Yeah. And you can talk to it. Again, if it doesn't get the criteria right the first time, tell it, right? Just say change this to this. Or you could say add in, I wanted to add an RMV in there and it will do it for you. Yeah, isn't that cool, guys? All right. Game changer. Yes. This is slick. Yes. Awesome. Cool. All right. So we'll end it on that high note, I think. Our goal with Deepvue is to always be iterating and bringing you guys the best technology available to become more efficient traders, find leading stocks more easily, find leading themes more easily with theme trackers, industry ranks, all this RRG charts, analyze the market more easily. Now with these prompts, with the stage analysis indicators that we've added. So this Deepvue AI is just a part of our goal, and that's to create the best platform for you guys. So again, if you're not already part of Deepvue, check us out. You've got that free code, Deepvue. Go to deepvue.com, use AI for a free month. And if you're currently a monthly user and want to upgrade to an annual plan, shoot us an email at hello@deepvue.com and mention the AI webinar offer. But again, our goal is to make this the best platform available. And we're always on the forefront of new stuff that's going on. I think you can see that from the natural language screening that we just created. It's pretty darn cool. And we'll always be iterating and bring you guys the best platform because, it's something that we use every single day. All of us founders are trading using Deepvue. We are working on things that will make our lives easier and make your guys' lives easier as well. Coming soon is Journal, a bunch of other bonus modules, a lot of other features I can't mention yet. But yeah, this Deepvue AI is a pretty darn cool part of the platform, and hopefully you guys see all the potential here. All right, cool. Yeah, so let me go ahead and answer a few questions here. Please put the questions in the Q&A section, not in the chat. That helps keep everything organized. Simple prompt, what would Richard trade? I like that. Maybe in the future, right? We're actually kind of thinking along those lines, hint, hint, but we'll see. Okay. This is awesome. Wonder if this can also return the stocks meeting specific conditions rather than creating a screener. This may help backtesting, pulling all stocks with specific conditions. So what's doing is creating a screener. So it's not doing anything. That's what it's doing. So it's making a screener for you and returning those results. Again, our screener, we're about to unlock the historical screening ability. So you'll be able to create screens going in the past. So that will help with backtesting for sure. Yes, this is recorded and we'll send it out pretty soon. Is there a list of variables available for calls to AI? So the two special characters I list out in the guide here. So again, you can type in / to bring up your prompt library and actions. That's how we created the screener here is we clicked in here, click /. That's one special character. And then the other one is the @ symbol. And this allows you to access any of your screen's watch lists. And then the other thing is when you're creating a prompt, use the brackets and symbol, and then Deepvue will know to use that as the symbol itself. So again, if we bring up MU and go to prompts, analyze the earnings of MU, it knows about that we're passing it MU because in the prompt I use symbol here. So let's go ahead and recent earnings analyzer. Here I use symbol. Here I use symbol. So now this is what the mistake was earlier is I copied the prompt without replacing that symbol. So now this should work perfectly fine because it knows I'm using MU. There we go. It's already replaced symbol with MU here. So that's the way that Deepvue can save you time there. Yeah, / sorry, not /. / guys. Cool. Do, do, do. Currently, we're only U.S. Markets, but we'll be opening up to other markets later on. Yeah. So now it's using MU properly. Before it was just like guessing what stock we wanted. It actually got semiconductor somehow, which is cool. All right. I think we'll pretty much leave it there. Thank you guys all for attending. If you don't mind, I've got one ask for you guys. So let me go ahead and minimize this. If you wouldn't mind sharing your feedback on this webinar, I'd really appreciate it. So what do you think about this webinar? What did you think about the AI? Let's go ahead and put the link in the chat. Please share your feedback using this link here. I really appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your ideas. All of that. We'd love to hear it. Again, if you're new to Deepvue or aren't a member yet, you can use the code AI for a free month. And if you're a current existing monthly member, go ahead and email us and let us know you want the AI webinar offer, and we'll make you a great deal to upgrade to annual. So we look forward to having all of you guys join if you aren't already a part of it. And again, we're always committed to improving this, listening to the feedback. That's what really sets us apart. Is we listen a ton to all your suggestions, and you guys gave us some great ideas today. And of course, we're traders ourselves. We know what will help us. So that is a huge benefit as well. All right, and here's that link one more time. If you wouldn't mind sharing your feedback there, really appreciate it. And again, hopefully these webinars are helping you guys make the most out of Deepvue. We'll be kind of covering one key aspect of the platform. Today, of course, was the Deepvue AI, but there's a lot to cover with the dashboard, all of that. So I'll be doing different webinars to cover different aspects of Deepvue. All right, cool. Previous webinars you can find on our YouTube channel. We're uploading the latest ones relatively soon, and this one I'll email out and send out to everybody who attended today. Okay, I'll drop the link one more time to the feedback form. And again, thank you guys all for attending. Thank you for taking part of your Saturday and spending it with me. I appreciate it. And hopefully you guys learned a lot. Let me know in the chat. Did you guys learn anything today about AI, Deepvue AI as well? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you learned. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys all again, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, everybody.